Before we get started, guys, we've been getting a lot of questions about the markets. The last time we did the boot camp, it was 100 billion market cap.
100 billion, yep.
And then it went up to like 800 and something billion
Well,
market
it was going
cap.
down first, remember at the time?
Yeah, it went down.
And
then it went back up to like 800 and something billion market cap, and now it's down to like 200 and something billion. So we had a lot of questions from everyone asking us where the market's going, what it's doing. So before we actually get into the actual boot camp, guys, I want to actually just run into and jump into the markets and do a quick market analysis of where the market is currently at, and Leon will give you guys some commentary on that, and then we'll get the party started, okay? So one of the things I like to do is that I like to go to CoinMarketCap.com. So throughout this entire boot camp, guys, and for the people watching at home, I'm going to be going through this, and whenever possible, I'm going to say the domain names just to make sure that it's safe for everyone, because for the folks that are listening, they want to go and follow the same websites, because we got so many people trying to scam people and do phishing websites and phishing emails and sites, that it's important that we include the domain name. So when you guys hear me say CoinMarketCap.com or TradingView.com or .io, whatever, just be aware that's the reason why I'm doing that, okay? So one of the first things I like to do every day is go to CoinMarketCap.com. This is one of the oldest websites that list all the cryptocurrencies, guys. And if you guys come over here, here's the list of all the cryptocurrencies from Bitcoin, Ethereum, and so on. And then I like to come up here and click on the CoinMarketCap way up here at the top. Click on that. And then come down here. And I like to look at what the chart of the total market cap is doing. This is, to me, like to look at the pulse of what the market is doing, okay? And then if you have a big chunk of Bitcoin in your portfolio, then I would look at the total market cap. If I have a smaller chunk of Bitcoin in my portfolio, then I would look at the excluding Bitcoin, all right? So basically, right now, my current portfolio is like less than 5% of it is Bitcoin. So usually when I look at what the total market is doing, I like to look at it with the excluding Bitcoin. What about yourself?
I do the same, since Bitcoin is a minority.
Yeah.
It's not 45% of the market, like of my portfolio, like the whole market is. Bitcoin is, yeah.
So Bitcoin right here, the Bitcoin dominance, it makes up 45% of the entire cryptocurrency market, which means that, and we'll go into detail more about this later on, guys, but that means that out of the $257 billion that the market is worth right now, the total value of the market, 45% of it is attributed towards Bitcoin. And since less than 5% of my portfolio is in Bitcoin, then that's not a very good accurate measurement or a good analysis for me to look at that. So that's the reason why I look at total market cap excluding Bitcoin, all right? Now, the next thing I like to do is I like to grab this and go to the side and make it into a more square chart. If you guys notice, let me just clear this out the way first. If you guys notice, it's more, it's not, the chart is not so rectangular, it's more square, all right? Now that's a technical analysis trick or a tip or what you would like to call it, right? A lot of people, when they look at the trend of the markets, they look at it incorrectly because the market has been stretched out and you don't see the actual trend. So it looks like the market is trending like this, but when you stretch it out like that, it looks like it's only a 10 or 20 degree angle, and you can't really accurately see the pitch of the trend of the market. So I like to do that to get it as kind of squarish I can. It's not perfect, but it's better than having it stretch out and elongate it like that into a rectangle, all right? So technical analysis originally, when they did the charts, they did it on a arithmetic chart, not on a logarithmic chart, and I'll get into more detail about that when we get into the section about technical analysis. And then what we do is we scrunch it so that it's more original, like the traditional technical analysts used to, that did all the research on this, how they looked at it. So what I do is I do that, and then I take a screenshot of it, and this is what it looks like right here. So it's more of a squarish chart so that we can actually see the trend a lot better. So what I do is when I get here, I like to magnify the screen, the photo of it, and then just get a trend line. And I'm going to explain all this to you guys how to do this in the later on when we do the technical analysis portion, okay? So if you guys notice this, I'm just connecting the line to the bottom of where the trend is at. And when Leon and I, when we like to buy something, we like to buy things when they're on sale or when they're near the bottom of the trend, okay? So as you guys can see right there, the market is coming down. I'm just putting the green line down here, and just where the majority of the points touch. And where it went up before, it's come back down to almost where the original launch began. Can many of you guys see that? Like, that's not something like I created or I made up. I mean, can everyone see that it's coming down and hitting that green line? And for some reason in the past, it tends to hit that and bounce back up, hit it, bounce back up, hit it, bounce back up, and now it's hit it again. Now, there's no law or it's not set in stone that every time it hits that trend line that it's going to bounce right back up. Okay, there's no law or there's no guarantee that's going to happen. But in trading and investing, it's all about probability. And if it's happened in the past, more than likely the probability that it will happen again are much better. Okay, every time you go down a dark alley and you get mugged or something, and then you go down a dark alley again, and then you get mugged again, and then the next time you see that, a dark alley, you're gonna get a little nervous and not want to go down there, right? So that's the same thing. It's humans are the ones that are buying and selling crypto, so that's the reason why it's doing that. So usually, you want to talk about how when the market was going up, we were, telling. We were selling.
Yeah, we were selling.
Yeah.
And if you guys saw the last boot camp, I was, I said, I had brought up a chart of the 2013, November of 2013 to the 2014. That was the last big bear market we had in crypto. And I said that that is coming again. The problem is you don't know how high it's going to go before it starts. Well, it ended up going to about 860 billion, and now we're down around 70% or so. And by January of this year, it had topped, and we're in this 70, 80, 90% pullback that we see over and over again in crypto. Like, we've seen this over and over. This should not have surprised anyone. Because we knew it was coming, so we were selling into that. Like, we sold some at, I sold some at 500 billion, at 600 billion, 700 billion. You just unloaded along the way, and you're not going to catch it. We're not going to catch the top. We said that at the first boot camp. That's not how we try. That's not how we determine when we want to sell. Not by trying to top tick.
Yeah. And when Leon says that, we knew that it was going to top out, guys. Yeah, we know that, but we just don't know when. So our philosophy is that we sell and take profits when we have an opportunity and when we can do it without hurting ourselves, which means that it's a lot easier to take profits when it's going up like this, right? So, because when we sell, what do we want? Do we want buyers on the other side, or do we want sellers on the other side? Right, we want buyers, correct? So as it's going up, people are buying, and that's when we need to sell, okay? If we need to sell to pay bills, we need to sell to take profits, anything like that. So Leon and I, we were tweeting out and letting everyone know, like, we should be selling when it comes up to here, and then as it's coming up to here, same thing, and then as it's coming up to here. Now, did we know if this was the top or not? No, nobody knows, and if anyone tells you guys in trading or investing that they know when something's the top or the bottom, guess what? They're not being 100% truthful with you guys, all right? So just be aware of that. And in trading and investing, you don't need to know when it's the top and when it's the bottom. There's like multiple components that go into a trading and an investing system, and then if we do all the components of that system, then it allows us to capture this. And usually when I'm coaching students in the traditional markets like the stocks, futures, forex, options, what I normally do is I try to get the students, I've noticed based on my research that the ones that are really good traders and investors, they'll capture about 2/3 of this move. Like, it's rare that anyone that's a professional trader or investor ever comes in down here and then sells in up here. If they do, it's just random. It's just like, you keep doing the same thing over and over all the time. Eventually, there'll be a time when you get in at buy at the bottom and sell at the top, but it's extremely rare. Like I used to average like several thousand trades a year in the traditional Forex markets, and I might buy down here and sell up here out of 1,000 trades. I'm lucky if I get it like, a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. So it does happen, but it's not something that I would base my portfolio on. That's not something that that I could make a living off of. But I can base my portfolio on capturing 1/3 of this to 2/3 of this. That I've seen people do consistently, and that's what we're going to share with you guys. So our goal is not to buy here and sell here, but capture a big chunk of that. Usually beginners will capture about 1/3 of that, right? So, and then the ones that are really experienced and know what they're doing, they'll capture about 2/3 of that. Okay, so just be aware of that so that you guys have some kind of idea and benchmark. And this is information I'm sharing with you guys is based on all the traders that I used to coach and I used to analyze. And when I say, you guys hear us say the term coaching, just be aware that we're not coaching people on what to buy, sell, or hold. We're just coaching them on the technicals, the processes, the computer security, and the execution skills so that the people do it correctly, okay? Just like when we finish here, guys, we're gonna have a year follow-up with you guys, right? And during that time, we're gonna make sure that you guys are implementing all the processes that we share with you guys in the next 4 days, all right? So as this is coming up and it's coming down, usually when price is falling like this, we are looking for reasons to buy in the positions that we did not have in our portfolio, or sometimes we buy back the cryptos that we just sold and took profits, right? Mm-hmm. So like one of the cryptos that Leon recently sold when it was running up, right? He and I were just talking about it yesterday about looking to buy it back in to reload his, to put those positions back in his portfolio, right? Mm-hmm. So any questions about the current markets real quick, guys, before we start? Don't be bashful.
When you square out the chart and you have a range of time moving forward, how do you know how much length of a segment of time to take? Because that'll change.
Okay, we're gonna. Okay, you're asking technical analysis questions, and I'm gonna answer when we get to the technical analysis portion. What I wanted you guys to see was that at 12:52, within less than 10 minutes, I made a decision to buy, sell, or hold. That's it. Then I just go on to the next one. Did I do a lot of for an hour of analysis on this? No. Most of the people that I know of that trade for real, like actually put real money into stocks, futures, Forex, things like that, that's about how quick they can make a decision on trading. Okay? When you give them a chart, within a very short period of time, they're able to figure it out. Okay? So, is Dave, everybody back in? Okay, all right. So we had to start a little bit earlier, guys, because I saw everybody was done with their lunch. And instead of out there talking, I'd rather you guys have in here where we can work with you guys on this. Because this is boot camp training, so this is not to make you feel good, right? It's here to help you with your cryptocurrency trading and investing. So the more time that we can spend with you guys on this, the more that we'd prefer to do that, because you guys can make connections later on and talk to each other, guys, when you guys get home. But while you guys are here in Dallas, we want to spend that time with you guys, all right?